The Montreal Canadiens had an 80.9% success rate in the penalty killing in 2024-25 season. Last season, they had players like Yoel Armia and Christian Dvorak helping out Jake Evans and Josh Anderson. This year, Armia and Dvorak are both gone. Who's going to replace them on this episode of Next Shift?
Bobrovsky scored! Ball with another save. Lane Hudson scores! Goes after it now. He's in. He scores!
Welcome back to Next Shift with Rick Wagen. Suzuki does not suck. Today we're going to talk about the Montreal Canadiens penalty killing. The Montreal Canadiens penalty killing, who is 80.9% last season, with players like Josh Anderson taking on a new role, players like Armia and Dvorak and Evans playing huge minutes on the penalty kill, giving a breather to Nick Suzuki on the penalty kill, and letting him play more time on the power play and in 5-on-5, leading to a much more productive season for Nick Suzuki as well. So that having lost those two players and a stalwart defenseman of David Savard, who was great at blocking shots, how are the Montreal Canadiens going to handle losing players like Armia and Christian Dvorak? Well, the way I look at it is this. The Montreal Canadiens have players like Newhook and returning players like Gallagher, two veteran players that can take on new roles and be more interested in the 200-foot game. Gallagher took huge steps last year playing on a line with Dvorak and Anderson. We may look to him to kill some penalties. He's not going to take faceoffs. He's a right-handed shot. Newhook is going to take faceoffs. He's a left-handed shot. He's going to be looked to provide a huge value for the team on a penalty kill. His speed, his left-handed shot, his face-off ability, which is not great win percentage, but at least he's a left-handed shot, could add value to the penalty kill. The other left-handed shot that has potential is Zachary Bolduc. Zachary came over from St. Louis on a trade with Mailloux. We'll see how that turns out. He seems to be a 200-foot player, played a little bit of penalty kill in St. Louis, not a lot. He's young. He could be slated to play some solid minutes. He's a left-handed shot, could take some draws. The other player that I'm thinking about or that could be possible is one of Owen Beck or Oliver Kapanen. I believe that one of those two players are going to play on the Canadiens to start the season. I'm leaning towards Kapanen, but it could be Beck. I actually prefer Beck in the penalty killing role over Kapanen. I think Kapanen is a solid 200-foot player, but he's not as defensively sound as Owen Beck. But either one of those players can fill a role. They can take faceoffs. I see one or both of them playing with Anderson and helping them out on the faceoff draw. If it's not that way, then it will be Newhook playing with Anderson and Evans playing with like a Beck or a Kapanen. I still see some penalty killing time for Nick Suzuki. Obviously, on the defensive side of the puck, he's tremendous. For the defense, Matheson, Gooley are going to take some big minutes. Struble and Xhekaj are going to be looked to do some damage. You'll see Carrier out there sometimes. You may even see Hudson out there sometimes, depending on penalties. Dobson is another player that will step in. Dobson is known to block shots. He's a big player. He's going to be a key contributor to the penalty kill as well. So looking at the way it's going to run, I still feel like this is a bit of a wild card for the Montreal Canadiens. Like I said, the Canadiens have improved this year. They have some great players in Demidov and Dobson and Bolduc that have added some firepower to this team. But on the flip side of that, the PK and the face-offs are two huge gaps, and they still haven't filled that second center role. Now, again, I'm a fan of Kirby Dach. He's been injured for a couple of years. We'll see where it turns out if he's going to stay on the team. We'll see if the Montreal Canadiens trade or make a trade for a second line center. A lot to decide still. But at this point, I see Bolduc, I see Newhook, and I probably see a Beck or a Kapanen. Three of those players will play some penalty killing along with Evans and Anderson. Wouldn't be surprised if Evans and Anderson were one of the lines and they try to figure out the other line with different players. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be interesting. Again, a huge gap. Looking forward to the season, looking forward to what turns out. I left off a couple of names. Maybe Veleno is another player that might be able to make it. Blais, I don't know if he's a penalty killer yet either, but at the end of the day, the Montreal Canadiens have a ton of bottom six players and a couple of top six players that can fill the role. Looking forward to see how it turns out. Looking forward, we might see a trade, and one of those players might be of interest to join the squad in the PK side. So that's it for me. That's it for Next Shift. Suzuki does not suck. Talk to you guys soon.
Bobrovsky score! Petrie one time. David Savard. Goal! Another stage. Played Hudson score! Goes after it. No! He's in! He scores! Oh,